is going. The police chief recused himself from setting the parameters of that investigation. He's handed it over to City Administrator Chris McPherson. How do you think that needs to be handled? Are you comfortable with it going to the City Administrator? Do you think it needs to go to the province in a broader inquiry?
That's a thoughtful question.
Sometimes it happens on the show.
No, well, I will speak broadly because I'm not familiar with the intricacies of how all of those decisions played out. I always think that some external eyes are useful. They're useful in my professional work to make sure that I'm doing, that I haven't missed something, and so it stands for me that as a general principle, it is helpful to have a set of eyes that hasn't been embroiled in something, have an extra look. Now, whether or not that role can be played by the City Administrator, I'm not certain. But I do think it's prudent that it moves at least once, that it's moved out of the police force, because I think that does give some distance to allow for a different perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that entirely, and perhaps it will need to go, then be removed the next step. I think that we're learning more and more as this unfolds. More and more people are commenting on it. It's been very enlightening, I think, to have the legal counsel that's been providing information, and the professors from the law school, and I think if there's one thing that we are realizing from that, it's the more that sort of external voice is helpful. And so if the city needs to then remove it provincially, perhaps that is the route to go. I'm certainly no expert in sort of this legal, once we get into that area, but I would share Leah's sentiment with sort of if it goes externally, there's this idea, there's another set of eyes looking at it. I think it's certainly the public. I'm sure by now I think the public is, if tainted is too strong a word, but at the same time they're suspect, probably becoming more and more suspect. I think to protect the police force, to protect the city, and also to do the right thing, perhaps we will need to move the next step.
Greg?
Well, I concur, but I also am looking forward to hearing more about it from the perspective of the professional administrators in City Hall. I'm looking forward to working with them, and I think they've got a ton to offer on the issue, so I'm looking forward.
Okay, let me
interesting.
Let me ask you this: you're all coming in with new